to take such drastic and adverse measures on issues that were negotiated some 6-7 years ago. This very complicated period, I want them to consider the appropriateness, whether this is the best time to press so hard their demands at the expense of exposing the entirety of our people to the perils and the scourge of COVID-19.
While appraising 3 months of its mandate, the task force says global experiences and local peculiarities have guided its national response strategy of prevention, contact tracing, isolation, and treatment for COVID-19.
We have updated case management guidelines with reviewed changes like discharge criteria and medication used. Our treatment centers will also be getting an advisory to test the applicability of a drug recently repurposed and announced as being effective for treatment of COVID-19.
It is mandatory for masks to be worn in public spaces. Masks are supposed to cover your nose and mouth.
Until everybody takes ownership of this pandemic, very little will be done. And this is why we are enlisting national rulers, faith leaders, and opinion leaders.
On the planned resumption of domestic flights,
we'll have some work to do. As such, June 21st is not a feasible date to resume operations domestic until we are sure and we confirm that we are ready to start in a safe, secure, organized, and efficient manner.
Nigerians are advised that the risk of contracting COVID-19 is higher at this stage of community transmission, hence the need to adhere to all precautionary guidelines. In Abuja, Nta2 News.
And now to matters affecting the environment. Flash floods, submerged roads and waterlogged houses have left many residents of Lagos traumatized on Thursday following unprecedented rainfall that persisted for several hours. Kenny Beluge has the situation report.
These are images of many layouts in the Lagos metropolis. The heavy rainfall began in the early hours of Thursday. Being a work day, crowds of people were trapped in their homes. Indoors was as flooded as the outdoors. It was a sorry sight to see some residents frantically battling the floods. Abel Ogunanya and Moritala Atata have lived in Lagos for many years. If there is anything that gives them anxiety, it is the rainy season. Their worries are not unfounded. Whenever it rains, some parts of the city get flooded. The flash floods in buildings and the affected roads is due largely to poor maintenance of the drainage system.
I stay around Idumota. There are many flood areas. The gutter are not well being cleaned.
I urge the government, especially the state government or the local government, to try to use caterpillar to arrange to park the canal.
Although the Nigerian Meteorological Agency has given a broader outlook of the quantity of rain for this year, it however recommends steps for states to take in order to reduce the impact.
The drainage need to be cleared. These are things that we need to team up, we need to join hands together. It's not necessarily that government must be everywhere to clear the drainage. You will not lose anything by clearing the drainage around your house.
Clearing the drains, already aligned drains. We're also cleaning the ones that are not aligned. And we're also doing the work.
The emphasis is on cultivating proper waste disposal and ridding the drainages of unwanted waste as the rainy season sets to peak. In Lagos, Ken Igbeluge, Nta News.
The rains are here and temperatures are dropping. The city of Lagos experienced a heavy downpour on Thursday, and flash floods and other attendant consequences became the lot of residents. While the authorities put the bulk of the blame on residents who dump wastes in the drainages, thereby blocking the free flow of water, they also note that certain areas which are not conducive for buildings have many houses on the terrain. An environmentalist and landscape expert Fadere Williams, had earlier spoken on this development on our news segment.
An average of 3,000 millimeters of rain, and the north will experience an average of 400 millimeters of rain. But the interesting thing to note, it's not just the average amount of rainfall, but rather the pattern of the rain. It keeps falling. It's not like it falls within a short period of time in an inundated way, but rather it keeps falling for a longer period of time. And this is indicative of the climate variability that we experience currently in Africa. The interesting thing about the predictions Brenda did give was that there was going to be so many dry spells in this year, and we did experience that, and that's even led to the fact that the rains took a while before they started. Although we are thankful about that, because somehow the relationship between the environmental climate and the disease condition of COVID-19 helped in the sense of the fact that since we had those dry spells at the initial beginnings of the COVID-19, it helped to limit the rate at which the disease was spread. But the consequence, or the flip side of that, is the fact that now when the rains have finally started, they are higher in intensity and they are longer in duration. And that means that if there have been no preparations, if there have been no proper forecast mechanisms for day-to-day predictions of rainfall patterns, if there have been no preparations on the part of government for the Ministry of Environment to ensure that the drainage systems are free of human debris, if there have been no such preparations, we are expected to see more and more of such increased intense flash flooding in Lagos especially.
2 children have lost their lives after they were trapped underneath the rubble of a story building in Gafari Balogun area of Ogudu, Lagos State. Abolore Obara reports. Sorry for that mix-up. You're still watching Nta2 News at this hour. We'll pause here for a break. The news continues shortly. Do stay with us.
Experience unlimited super-fast internet access from Ntel 4G. Ntel. Live more.
The main way coronavirus spread is when infected people sneeze and cough. Small droplets of fluid expelled by cough or sneezes are laced with viruses looking for new respiratory tracts to infect. When a sick person sneezes around someone who is healthy, the virus can land in the nose, mouth, or even the eyes, causing an infection. Symptoms can include fever, cough, shortness of breath. Symptoms may appear within 2 to 14 days. Seek medical advice if you develop symptoms and have been in close contact with a person known to have COVID-19, or if you live or have recently been in an area with ongoing spread of COVID-19. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Africa's largest television network.
Welcome back, and now to security. President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the nation's armed forces and other security agencies in the country to immediately reverse the current worrisome trend in the security situation of the country, describing it as intolerable. Addressing top brass of Nigeria's security architecture, he summoned the crucial meeting. The president was emphatic that the best is so far not good enough towards restoring the desired peace. Enterprise for National Growth and Development. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
President Muhammadu Buhari summoned the meeting in response to the declining security situation in the country, which according to him is very embarrassing. During the closed-door meeting with the operational heads of the various security services as well as their intelligence components, the president described as unacceptable the continuous attacks and killings of defenseless Nigerians by criminal elements. The National Security Advisor, Babagana Munguno, who addressed newsmen after the meeting, said President Buhari has virtually lost his cool.
He is extremely unhappy about what is happening, and he feels that even though the security agencies are doing their best is not good enough for him, and he wants an immediate reversal of the current trend, an immediate reversal of our misfortunes in all their dimensions.
In no uncertain terms, the president told the security chiefs that none of them was forced on him. Rather, he selected them individually based on available records, and therefore living up to their expectations is a task that must not be compromised.
And therefore, he wants the security agencies to take into consideration the wider implication of the gradual descent of the security of this country. The security agencies must justify the leadership by not disappointing the populace. He is not going to accept any further escalation of the security situation.
President Buhari said unless the nation is effectively secured, the pursuit of national development objectives will be an exercise in futility. He said the proliferation of drugs, small arms, and light weapons must be checked, so also the use of unregistered SIM cards.
Mr. President has directed that I, as a National Security Advisor, should link up with the Honorable Minister of Communications and Digital Economy to work out a blueprint to ensure we wrestle the irresponsible use of these SIM cards. Of course, I have my colleagues, the Inspector General of Police, the Director General of the Department of State Services, to help in this issue.
The Nigerian leader was also emphatic that he will no longer tolerate the reported lack of synergy within the security sector.
And he has left us in no doubt. The convergence of effort, the confluence of all ideas, be they operational or intelligence, must be achieved so that we no longer, if at all, there was this notion that groups were working in silos or stovepiping, they desist from that with immediate effect. We must have a central platform to coordinate all the efforts of operations and security. It is also incumbent on the wider Nigerian population to key into whatever the security agencies are doing.
The National Security Advisor told journalists that the security chiefs assured the president at the meeting that they will not only redouble their efforts, but do whatever it takes towards reversing what he called their dwindling fortunes for the betterment of the country. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, Nta2 News.
And now to politics. All Progressives Congress has inaugurated the party's Edo State governorship primary election and election appeal committees. National Vice Chairman South of the party, Hilad Ita, inaugurated the committees, one of which has the Imo State Governor, Senator Hope Uzodimma, as its chairman. Salihu Abdullahi reports.
Activities at the APC National Secretariat are building up ahead of the 2020 Edo and Ondo governorship elections. This event is preceding the June 22nd Edo State governorship primary election after the successful screening of the party's aspirants. The 7-member primary election committee has Imo State Governor Hope Uzodimma as chairman, Senator Ajibola Bashiru as secretary, and the 5-member primary election appeal committee has Yusuf Ibrahim Naji as chairman and Kayode Ajulo as secretary.
Their job is very simple: to carry out the process of selecting the flag bearer of the party in Edo State.
There is a law there now that does not allow more than 20 people to gather at a space. That is one of the beauties of direct primaries. So when we get down to Edo State, we deploy the necessary manpower to the various polling units, with also a definite instruction that will not violate the local legislation, that will enable our members not to gather more than 20 people at a place. And by so doing, with a segmented approach, we will conduct a transparent, free and fair primaries.
The committees have assured credibility and fairness in the discharge of the task ahead. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Still talking politics, ahead of September governorship elections in Edo State, the People's Democratic Party has postponed its primary election in the state from Monday, June 22nd to Tuesday, June 23rd, 2020. The party's National Publicity Secretary, Kola Olobondiyan, announced this via his Twitter handle. Veteran singer Azados shares experience as he recovers from COVID-19, while Tope Alabi pays tribute to late beauty queen Ibidunni Ighodalo. These and more on our entertainment news segment with Uzeze Arure.
Nigerian veteran singer Olalekan Fadeyi, popularly known as Azados, has shared his experience after recovering from the dreaded coronavirus. The music star took to his Instagram page to share photos of the facility where he received treatment and how he was discharged and now is a survivor of the virus. Nigeria now has 17,735 confirmed cases of the virus, with 5,967 recoveries and 469 deaths. On Sunday, 14, 2020, Ibidun, wife of popular Lagos pastor Ighodalo, passed away from cardiac arrest just 5 days to her 40th birthday. This happened in a hotel in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Among many tributes, gospel singer Tope Alabi took to her social media handle to post excerpts of the tribute she made for the late wife of Pastor Itwa Ighodalo. Ibidun hit fame when she won the Mixed Lux beauty pageant competition as an 18-year-old undergraduate. She married Pastor Ighodalo in 2007. She was a successful event planner who was also a philanthropist. She worked with state governments across Nigeria, building isolation centers for COVID-19 patients. She founded a non-profit organization that raises awareness on the issues of infertility and gives grants to couples that require fertility treatments. News of her death drew many reactions on social media as she became the trending topic. Rest in peace, Ibidun Ajayi Ighodalo. And on the foreign scene, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex had filed a paperwork earlier this year for their upcoming charitable foundation. But the U.S. Patenting and Trademark document says the application had not been approved due to errors. The trademark attorney who received the application found a number of issues that needed to be fixed within 6 months or it will be abandoned. Additionally, Meghan and Harry failed to sign the trademark application, making the document not properly verified.
Back to a story we brought to you earlier. 2 children lost their lives after they were trapped underneath the rubble of a story building in Gafari Balogun area of Ogudu, Lagos State. Abolore Obara reports.
It was a Black Wednesday for Ogudu residents, no thanks to a mudslide that caused a building collapse and claimed 2 lives. Many were robbed of their property. 2 children, a male and a female, were trapped under the rubble. Their bodies were recovered during the rescue operation.
I was staying down with my children in the parlor. So along the line, when they were like disturbing me, I said I should go inside and sleep. Immediately, I want to enter my parlor. That's where the sound of the house collapsed. So it flinged me out inside the parlor. So that is when we discovered that the up fell and the 2 children up there have gone.
It's just so surprising that he destroyed everything. Even himself, he can't get any clothes to wear right now.
Lasema response team demolished the remaining part of the 1-story building.
Because if you watch most of the building there,
It is only that tree that is giving them problem here.
Please, we need government help to come and help us at this area to remove all these trees.
Lagos State Emergency Management Agency says integrity tests will also be carried out on other buildings in the area. In Lagos, Abolore Ogbara, Nta2 News.
And now to sports updates. The committee in charge of modalities for the return of National Sports Festival, especially 2020, has denied reports that a new date has been fixed for the festival. Instead, the chairman of the committee, Tonobok Okoa, said the decision lies on Sports Minister to adopt the recommendation of the committee, which is yet to submit its report. Austin Edemudu has details.
The 20th National Sports Festival, scheduled for March this year, was called off in the wake of the outbreak of coronavirus pandemic. Considering the challenges of going ahead with the Nta2 2020 National Sports Festival during the pandemic, the Ministry of Sports set up the committee chaired by the chairman of the Delta State Sports Commission, Tonobok Okoa, to work out modalities for possible return of the festival.
We looked at everything holistically, and then we came up with plans and what to see. What are we supposed to see? Think about the daily routine screening.
The committee, which is here to submit its report to the minister, however, adopted the submissions of the Edo State government, which fixed the tentative restart of the festival between October and November 2020.
We did not recommend a date now. We asked Edo, because they are the people that are ready to host the entire nation as regards the sports festival. So we cannot recommend a date that they might not be able to meet. So we asked them to suggest dates for us. First of all, a lot of determining factors. One, they're about to have an election in Edo State. You must put that into consideration. But the number one thing that we're considering is the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, now the index is still rising on daily basis. If you check the graph, it's still rising. But who knows, before the suggested date, it may have started coming down.
Over 12,000 athletes and other officials are expected to attend the Nta2 2020 National Sports Festival. However, the outcome of the committee's report and the decision of the Federal Ministry of Sports on the matter will surely determine the way forward. I'm Austin Edemodo, Nta2 News.
And that concludes the news at this hour. Thanks for watching. Continue to observe social distancing, especially at public places. My name is Amaka. Enjoy the rest of the day.